Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and today I'm here to show you how to make the Slimline card that I posted on my blog. I had never made a Slimline card up until earlier this week, and I really love them, and I'm sure you've seen them all over. They're so popular this year on Pinterest and Facebook pages all over the place. So I was just a little late getting started in making them, but love how this one turned out. So I've used the Merry Moose bundle, which was in last year's Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog and got carried over to this year. It's just so adorable. So let me switch over to my desktop and I'll show you how to make the card. Okay, so this is the card. This is the card that I posted on my blog today, and so all of the written instructions for this card as well as the measurements are available on the blog, and I will put a link to that under this video so that you can go out and get those instructions after you've watched the video. So you don't have to worry about writing down the instructions or even the measurements as I go through them, but I will give them on the video as well. So as I've said, let me just bring in the products I've used. I've used the Merry Moose bundle for this card. Yes, and this moose is so cute. And then this little raccoon, which I didn't use on this card. And then I love the fact that there's actually a coordinating punch for the moose with this. Makes it so easy to stamp and then just punch it out. The other stamp that I used on this card is for here, and it's called the Buffalo Check. And I've just taken some Real Red, inked up the stamp, and stamped my image. So I'll show you how I did that as well. Okay, so, oops. So again, this is the card, and I've got my supplies all cut. So the Slimline card, oops, these. So as I said, I will put all of these measurements on the card, but the Slimline card is 8.5 by 7, and it's actually folded in half. Let's just fold that. Probably easier to score it, but I didn't do that, so we'll fold it in half. And grab my bone folder. And just give it a good crease. There we go. So it's folded in half at 3.5. So this card will fit into I'm not sure the number of the envelope, but it's the kind of legal size, what I would call a legal size envelope. So more of a business style envelope. So it definitely fits, no extra postage needed on it. So I have another piece, the center piece of, this is Real Red, and this one is cut 7.5. So this will go in the middle, 7.5 by 2.5, and it will go here. Now the other pieces that I have, get the right pieces, this one. All right, so this Whisper White is what I'm going to stamp the Buffalo Check on. This one is cut 2 3/4 by 2.5. We'll go here. Another piece of Whisper White for the sentiment that is cut 2.5 by 1.5. And then some early espresso that is cut, let's see, 2 5/8 by 1 5/8. So this will go in behind. Like I said, all of these measurements will be on my blog. Then I've cut out using the stitch shapes dies. So I've cut out the largest size of the circle with the stitching. So I've done that already, and that will be here, and I'm going to stamp background on that. That's where my moose will go. I've got a scrap of Whisper White to stamp my moose, and also I put a scarf on the moose, so we'll stamp the scarf. And then the inside of the card is cut 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. All right, so that's all my supplies. Let me grab all the ones I'm going to stamp on. That. We'll do some stamping. All right, first of all, let's grab some blocks, because of course I forgot the blocks. All right, there we go, some blocks. And we will grab the 2 moose images. So there's the solid shape for the moose, and then the outline And then I use this tree as a background. What else did I use? I used the little snowflakes. I'm gonna have to reuse. And then I use the Merry Christmas. We'll put him on the back. And then we'll put this one on the back. All right, so I think I've got all the stamps. Oh, I need one for the inside of the card. What shall I put? What did I put? Enjoy this. Okay, I'm gonna have to reuse some of these. Okay, there we go. So on my scrap of paper, which is this one, I'm going to use Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp the outline of my mousse here. And then I'm going to stamp in real red the scarf. I'm going to fussy cut that scarf out because there's of course no punch for that. All right, now I'm going to take, not with real red, but in Early Espresso, I'm going to stamp the solid part for the mousse. Got a little piece on there. I don't know what that is. Get a little piece on the there. I think it's a little piece of fluff. Let's try that again. All right, and I'm going to stamp this off twice because I really want my mousse just to be lighter than. It's pretty easy to line this up. There. There. So I've got my mousse a little lighter than the background. Now, what else do I want to stamp? On this little piece, which is going to be the sentiment, I am going to, in real red, stamp the Merry Christmas. Oops, try and get this lined up using my grid lines, my lines on my grid paper. And then I'm going to just, using the Early Espresso, I'm going to just stamp as if it was snow. You can put as much or as little of the snow on here as you want. There we go. Oops, kind of a gap there. There we go. Now, what else do I need to stamp? I've got that. Okay, on my circle, I want to stamp a tree. Now I'm going to stamp this off because I just want kind of a faded image of a tree behind the mousse. There we go. I don't want that to be too dark. And I want some snow around here. So we'll just some snow images. There we go. A little bit of snowflakes. And now I've got the inside of the card while I'm at it. So I'm going to stamp the inside of the card with the outline of the mousse just in this corner. I always kind of like to get my stamping done while I've got my ink pads out, and then I can close up the ink pads, get this going, and not get, there we go. I think that's all of my stamping. Oh, no, real red I need. Okay, one more piece of stamping. So I use the Buffalo Check stamp. Now, this is one of the really large stamps, background stamps. So I have actually just adhered this. I peeled, actually I haven't peeled it off. I just kind of have taken the backing off and stuck it down inside my case. And I find that because I don't know that I even have one of the really big blocks, the acrylic blocks. So I just find that I can do this and put it in, and I'm then just going to take and stamp. I just want to press all around so that you get the image. And then I'll just pick it up. So it works pretty well to get a stamp. Now I'm going to let that dry a minute because it's quite juicy and I don't want to set it down too quick. So we'll just set that off to the side and let it dry. Get my real red all over my finger. We don't want to do that. Okay, we can start putting our card together. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal and adhere my real red down. And this just goes in the center of the card. Oops, I'm kind of off my screen. Here we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, and then we can adhere the inside of the card. Okay. And punch my mousse out. As I said, I love the fact that there is a punch that goes along with this mousse image. Now, a little skimpy on my piece of paper. I usually like to leave myself extra room, which I didn't manage to do here. So I've got a piece of Post-it note. So have you ever done this before? So I've got a Post-it note that I'm just going to stick here. And now I've got something that I can hang on to. Let's get this lined up. There we go. There's the mousse. I'm going to use dimensionals to adhere my mousse image. Oops, we don't need 3 dimensionals. But I am going to grab some of the mini dimensionals and put on the antlers just so they're held in place. That's probably good. There we go. And we'll adhere the mousse with the snow coming down on him. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, so my my piece of checkerboard is I'm gonna put him here. So I'm just going to adhere that down with dimensionals as well. Never have enough or too many dimensionals. I tend to use a lot. I like the texture and dimension to cards. And roughly there. And then use my pieces here. Here's the sentiment. We will adhere to this piece of early espresso. There we go. And again, more dimensionals. So I said this will go, I'm pretty sure it will go in a card, but you do have to be a little careful when you're getting all sorts of layers and you're popping them up with dimensionals about the postage on the card. So, but I'm pretty sure that this will go, won't be a problem. Okay, now I grabbed some of this really pretty real red sheer ribbon, and I'm going to use that, just a little piece of this, and tuck it, make a little tag, and under this corner here. A little bit of snail will hold this in place, like that. And then more dimensionals. Oops. I need to trim this a little bit. Better to cut a little extra and trim your ribbon after you've got it on the card and figure out where it is. So the last thing I need to do is I'm just going to fussy cut out my scarf. I just think he's so cute with a scarf around his neck. It doesn't take too long to fussy cut around it. You don't have to be perfect when you're fussy cutting out. I always leave a little bit of the white edge. If you wanted to, you could go right up to the stamped edge, but I actually like to leave a little bit of white. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of my Stampin' Seal and get it going. There we go. A little extra. And put the scarf on my moose. There. So that's my card. As I said, Slimline card. I know you've probably seen them all over the place. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just transition back. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, this was posted on my blog today, so all of the written instructions and the measurements for the card are there for you to use if you want to recreate this card. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel as you're looking at this video. I do post on a regular basis, so you would be notified when I post a new video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll definitely get back to them. And if you love my card, leave a comment too. Much appreciated. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Bye.